All right, so basically, can everybody see that credit report? If you can't see it, let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat or put can't see. Yes. All right, so this is a actual auto loan account. So what I would do is I'm going to zoom in just a tad just so y'all can see it real good. We'll just scroll down to the pay history. So now this is your list. So for round one, this is what I want you to do. Date last paid. So I'm going to go ahead and put a square around what I want you to look at, okay? So you're looking at an actual credit report with me, and you're actually going through the process with me, all right? Everybody process is different. So don't think what I'm doing is the bum diggity because somebody else may do it different and it may do it better. I'm just showing you what works for me when I use it, okay? So I'm going to change the color to red because I want you to pay attention to this. So we're going to look at the date of last payment. We're going to do date last active. Now, these are good for round one disputes, okay? We're going to do, let me see. We got date open, credit limit past due. Let's see, first date of delinquency, account type, account status. We don't have to worry about status too much. That's a last resort. Monthly payment, date open, balance, number of months, terms is a last resort too. Payment status, last report. So we're past due. We're going to use that as the date. So if they're past due, let me see. Let's do past due. Date of last reported. That's what I was looking for. I'm sitting up here trying to read something else at the same time. All right, so this account is, so we're looking at the payment status. This is the round one. So let me see, past due. Got it. We're going to also look at, I'm going to put a green around date open because that could be one that you can add in. So we're going to do date open. High credit limit. We're going to look at past due. And I'm gonna put payment status in red. That's a biggie too. A lot of times they have those issues with, you're going to see in a few minutes. All right, so date open, monthly payment, nope. So for round two, I do want you to make this list. I want you to put high balance. I want you to put status. We're going to put terms and type, and we're going to put notice of dispute, okay? We're going to put notice of dispute. These are all going to be in round two. The last resort ones, that's the terms and the types. That can be round three if you want to go or give them another dispute just to get them. Some people go like 12 rounds. Sometimes you don't have to. So I just streamline it in 3 because by that time, if you know they made a mistake, if you know it's an automatic error, you don't need that many. You don't have to do that many rounds because as long as you're showing proof, showing facts, then you should be good. All right, so this is 30 days late, 30 days late. So date of first delinquency is not on here. Well, it's called first date of delinquency. We'll go ahead and take a look in the payment history that's here, and we'll see when was the first date of delinquency. Well, let's see. I'm gonna put a star by first date of link. So I want to take you through these first ones first. The ones that I highlight are the ones I'm going to take you through. All right, so let's look at payment status. So what we're looking for inaccuracies across the board with TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. And this is an auto loan, okay? So this is not a revolving credit account. This is actually a close in it, because you actually get, once you finance the vehicle, they have the total amount that you have to pay, and you're on a set payment every month. Now, the only thing is, when it comes to you evaluating the credit report, is when we're talking about past due, or we're talking about, let's see, the payment, monthly payment, only you, the person, would know this. So if I wanted to, if it's going 486 across the board, I'll ask the client, is this the true correct amount? So if that's not the correct amount, that's one of those you can put in the very end, the last resort, the actual amount. You can use that as a dispute to tackle this account again. So that'll be in like a round three, dispute. So with the, let's hit the payment status. So it says 30 days late, 30 days late, 30 days late with changing experience and Equifax. So that's good going across the board. So when you're tackling late payments, now when you're doing factual disputing, all you do is tell them, if you weren't 30 days late on that date, then you tell them exactly that, and you tell them why. And if you have like copies of your statement, or when you paid, or how much you paid for that month, showing that you weren't late for that month. And even if you were, the kicker to this is, it's the way that you word your disputes. So if you say for instance, your payment was due on the 15th and you paid on the 25th, you're considered late, I guess, with the company after a certain number of days. But when they report you as late, and I'm gonna say January, if they report you as late January 15th, you paid on January 25th. If they report you as late, when they report it on the credit report, they have to mark it as 30 days late, which you weren't actually 30 days late. You were like, you were 20 days late. So you can let them know that your due date was, and when you word your dispute, you can say this: my due date was on so you get them a copy of your account statement. Is on so I made the payment. Here's the proof of my payment on the 25th. I was not 30 days late. That's one way you can get it removed. So you've shown them proof that you weren't 30 days late on that in that month. And sometimes you could be 30 days late. Say for instance, it was due on the 15th, and you didn't pay it again till February the 20th. You still hadn't made a payment since then to February the 20th. So you're not really 30 days late. They're going to probably mark you as 30 days late, but that's actually a good thing, because it's not 60 days late, because they can put in the system that you was 60 days late, but you wouldn't be actually 60 days late. So sometimes when they report this stuff, it's a good thing for you, but an error is an error. An inaccuracy is an inaccuracy. Okay. So that's one way you can tackle late payment. So they all had 30 days. So this would say 30 days late and was past due $215. Last reported on May 17th. So this one says May 17th. Let me see what this. This is Experian, TransUnion, Experian, Equifax. So TransUnion and Experian have the same dates. Now, mind you, keep this in your head the entire time. This is one company reporting this inaccurate information to three different companies. I put three different companies. So TransUnion said it was past due as of May 17th, 2024. Same thing with Experian, but look here. Equifax said it was late. It was last reported late on May the 1st. So now you have an issue with the last reported date, the past due. So when they last reported, they stated that I was past due 30 days on. How can I be past due? This is what I'll ask them. How can I be? And if you don't put proof with this, they do have to investigate the way you ask them. If you don't show them proof the first time, it's the way that you word it, and you ask them, like, this is common sense right here. So how can I be 30 days late on TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, but the last date reported that I was past due on TransUnion was May 17th, Experian May 17th, and Equifax May 1st? which date is it. You don't have to get them the exact date you were late. So when that second dispute, when you get ready to do that round 2 for these late payments, now each one of these disputes, you can put late payments on one letter. You can do it with however way you want, because when you tackle it one letter at a time, it's like they're responding to your one dispute. But I have seen people put everything on one letter. So what it does, it discombobulates the credit bureaus, and they have to fix everything that's on your credit report. And if they don't fix everything that you listed in that dispute on your credit report, then you can, after you do your rounds, after you contact the CFPB, because you have to go through the administrative process. This is the best way to do it. And then if they continue to do the same thing, then you looking for you a consumer lawyer that deals with the FCRA. Okay. So we do have one, that's the late payments being last reported 30 days. But if this was 30 days on May 17th, how was I 30 days late on May the 1st? So that's what you're gonna ask. That's gonna be one of yours. And the reason why I like Cami, I don't know if you all are just as techy as I am. You see how I was able to highlight what I'm actually disputing. So when I print this out, they see my little words. So let's go to date last active. The date last active was May 17th, May 1st. Okay, so we got another inaccuracy. So the date last active is inaccurate. So if this one company is reporting to all 3 of the credit bureaus, why do they not have the same information? Why do they not have the same information? They got to fix that, okay? Because your date last active has something to do with your first date of delinquency. Because an account that's in delinquent status stayed from that last reported, that past due, or the date last active, the date last active, from that time to 7 years to sit on your credit report. So if they have a different amount, like the months, this is not too bad because it'll still fall off in May of this 2024, so 2031, it should fall off. Maybe a couple of days apart because of the 17th and the 1st. But you may have had a date that said May on TransUnion, and you may have December 1st on Experian. Now that's a big jump because they're re-aging it. But no matter that, when those dates are inaccurate, you're re-aging this account. It's staying on longer than it has to. Because if you ask me, those few days between the 1st and the 17th, you may apply for a house, and this account hasn't fallen off, but your other 2 accounts fell off. This one didn't. So this may be this account, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about real quick. So on the 1st, they fall off May 1st, 2031, right? This account right here stays on for another week or 2 because it was re-aged. And in between that 2-week time that you're waiting on it to fall off your credit report, you have to apply for a loan because you need to pay your rent, you need to pay your car note, or you're trying to apply for a house, but this is one of the accounts listed on your credit report that caused you to get denied. That's considered re-aging, and you were damaged in the process. Okay, remember my word, damage. That's the key to getting you to suing these credit bureaus. When you find out the inaccuracies, once you dispute it and you continue to dispute and you show them proof that this is inaccurate, I'm gonna do an undo button. This is inaccurate and they haven't removed it, and I ended up not getting the loan I needed to so and so. I ended up getting denied for a house. Those are damages. You've been hurt. Okay, so date last payment. Now your date of last payment is very important too, because that's the last time you made a payment. That trickles down to your balance, because once you look at your balance and your date of what you paid on that date of last payment, that all depends on, does it go toward your balance? How much your balance come down? And sometimes they don't even change those. That information. They leave it just the same the entire time. So you have to be you have to look for details Look for those types of details. So let's look at date of last payment. All right, so we got March 14th. I mean, not March 14th, May 14th, May 14th, and May 1st. So the date of last payment. So if it was last active, and it could be last active, the account could still be open, but your date of last payment could be different, so they don't have to coincide. Those two don't have to coincide together. But we do see an inaccuracy because it said I made this payment of $215. I didn't make a payment. See, payment status last reported past due, so I didn't make a payment. So if the date of last payment was May 14th, May 14th, May 1st, those two are different. That's an inaccuracy. Let me go down here and check because it told me that I was 30 days late in TransUnion. And what date was that? 30 days late on May 17th, 2024. Let's go to May 17th. So if TransUnion says that I was late 30 days and the last time they reported was May 17th, they don't have 30 days late here. So this is incomplete. So your payment status is incomplete. You can type that in too. You'll say payment status. You'll do why is there no payment increment? I call it payment increment for TransUnion, and this is how you're going to explain it. For TransUnion on May the 17th, 2024, when you stated that I was 30 days late or 30 days past due on May the 17th, 2024. So you put your disputes in questions because you want them to respond to it. So instead of telling them what they did wrong, ask them why is it put in there? Use your own words. You can use your own words. So let's go take a look at the past due amount. Well, past due, you have to worry about it because this one is, if this is the actual correct amount, you don't have to worry about it. Leave it as is. If you're not $215 past due, automatically that is an error. So we're not going to worry with that one as a right. Everything you see a square around it is going inside of my dispute. Okay. It is going inside of my dispute. So now let's look at date open. Date open is important too, because if you're dealing with accounts, you want to know the first date it was open. So if it's a good account, if it's not a derogatory account, it stays on your credit report for 10 years. So this one says that, let me change to green. TransUnion stated that it was open February 17, 2023. Experian says it was open February 1st, 2023. And Equifax said it was open. So Experian and Equifax is reporting the same open date except for February 17th. So you ask them, why is Experian reporting the open date of February 1st? Experian and Equifax open date is February 1st. And TransUnion says the open date is February 17th. That is inaccurate. Okay. Now, if you got proof showing what date it was open, by all means, you can send whatever you want to fix it. But at this point, I would just dispute it. So I forgot to go back and highlight the past due because we noticed that it stated that we was 30 days past due. And it says 30 days past due on May 17th in TransUnion. 24, they never did report it. Let me go ahead and put a box on and change to red. And then Experian said 30 days past due on May 17th. So Experian said 30 days. So Experian is showing the 30 days past due. All right. Now, Equifax is reporting that it was past due on May the 1st. So Equifax is not reporting it either, so it's incomplete. So why is Experian showing a 30-day late payment and TransUnion, and you hear me asking, so you'll say why, and I'm saying it slow because I need you to write this down so you know how to ask these types of questions about the dispute, because you ask it and you put it in interrogative question form because you want them to respond. So why does, who is that? TransUnion and Equifax report a 30-day late payment and does not report a 30-day late payment, and Experian is reporting a 30-day late payment, and then just put this is inaccurate. This is actually incomplete, to be truthful. So this is incomplete because they didn't put it. This is incomplete. So, all right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the payment history. We're not going to too much worry about the past due. So let's look at the payment history. Let's take a look at some of the stuff that they have in the payment history. So let's look at the open date. So now the payment history will go back. This looked like it went back like 2 years. 2-year payment history. So if this is a 2-year payment history, then what we're missing January. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So if it was open, let's see the open date. TransUnion stated it was open February 17, 2023. It's not showing that it was open February 17, 2023. Experian shows that it was open February 1st of 2023. And it's not showing an okay for these two. So the open date will be most definitely a dispute. It's inaccurate. And it's inaccurate and it's incomplete. Okay. Inaccurate because it's showing 2 different dates across the board, and incomplete because they're not reporting it. You're showing it inside of the summary, but you're not reflecting that information inside of the payment history. So if I was to look at just the payment history, or they didn't give me the if I was just to look at the summary of the account, I see that it was open on these different dates. That's inaccurate. But once I scroll down and look at the payment history, you don't have anything for TransUnion Experian. It's incomplete. It should be okay, because if that's the day open, that means you're in good standing when you first opened it. But in Equifax is saying that it was open. Make sure it's Equifax. February 1st also, right here, February 1st of 2023. So it's showing okay. So if it said that it was open February 1st of 23, here's another error. If Equifax is, and you can have all of these, you can have one question for Experian, you can have one question for Equifax. However way you want to do your dispute, you can do that, okay? Or word your dispute. Just put it in question form and be detailed. So how can Equifax report it as the date open as February 1st of 2023, but it's showing in the payment history as being open January of 2023? Why is that? So that's a dispute. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this in black because we want them to see the payment history here. And let me do that correctly. The payment history is incomplete here. All right. The payment history is actually income. This is March 2024. So it's actually incomplete here. These are all incompletes. So you can say my empty spaces are incomplete. You can include that too. This one is also incomplete because according to 1681, it has to be accurate, incomplete, and verified. Okay. Verified, accurate, and complete in order for them to report. Now, if it's correct, don't touch it. That's just something they did it correctly. You don't want to file frivolous disputes on accounts or on issues on the accounts and turn around and it bites you in the butt later on, especially when you're trying to litigate down the road. A lawyer will not touch that. They won't touch it. As long as it's a genuine error. So as you follow along with me, you will notice a lot of stuff that I point out to you. They're getting you ready for litigation, whether you need it or not. When it comes to you finding a lawyer, because these companies get paid to report this information, especially bad, negative information on your credit report. So they don't care about all that love. They really don't care about you. So you want to make sure you're going through the right process of disputing the correct things in the correct way to help you later on down the road. Okay. It's also incomplete for the date open here for February 2023. And this is inaccurate because it can't be open a month before the open date. So why is there a month? Why is there, let me write it for you. So why is there an okay status reporting on Equifax 1 month? Well, I'm going to put in January of 2023, which is a month before the open date that you stated in the summary of February 1st, 23. So you asked that question. Okay. All right. So I gave you the rundown on this was an auto loan. So now the stuff that I gave you, there were 4 important, really, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 5 things that we could start with on this first round 1 dispute. Okay. The 5 things you can start with.